If you're like me, you've been in a sales conversation in the past where you have absolutely gotten so excited about this prospect and they come back to you and they say something like, "Oh man, can you just put together like this big proposal and then bring it back to me and I want to see it before we move forward?" And of course, as the sales pro or the traditional salesperson, you're like, "Yeah, of course, I'll go do that and we'll meet again and we can go through it." And then you hang up the phone and then you dive in and you end up doing all this free consulting for somebody before they've even ever paid you, or you even have like an established agreement, even if it's verbally, and you end up doing free consulting and then they never buy from you. Well, if that's happened to you, this video is going to give you one secret on the only way you ever need to avoid doing free consulting for non-paying clients. Stay tuned. What's up, FlowChat Connector? Sean back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Don't forget to smash that like button. Share this to somebody else that needs it. The traditional sales pro that's trying to get better. We're trying to make an impact in the sales environment because more people need to get better at sales. And please, please, please smash that subscribe button on the channel. Appreciate that so much. Let's get into it right away. We had a question that came in from Sunny. Sunny asked this. She said, "Sean, I always find myself spending hours doing prelim reports for non-clients. I deliver them, they take them, and they never buy from me. Do you have any suggestions?" Yes, this happens all the time. It used to happen to me. Let me talk about one example just personally so you can hear, like, I've been in this place, right? I used to sell roofing material on big commercial buildings like school districts and government buildings and all these other places. And we had to do these reports. So before we could get a sale from a client, we would go to these buildings and we would survey this entire roof with drones and pictures and like write up this big 30 to 50 page report. And then we go back and we drop it on the prospect's office desk and we'd start going through it. And then they'd be like, "Man, this is really great. All right, I'll go talk to the team and I'll get back to you." And then they never bought from me. And I spent hours and hours and hours. And here's the worst part. I was up till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning and my wife was in bed waiting for me and annoyed that I was continuing to work, like just hustling my ass off. And so that was where it kind of broke the camel's back for me because I had to always do these reports. And so I went to my sales coach and I was like, "Yo, dude, how do I stop this nonsense? Because I don't want to have to do this anymore." And so what he told me, he gave me 2 words and I was like, "What are you even talking about?" And when he told me, I was like, "Oh, I'm never going to not do this again in another sales call." And so that's what I want to share with you today because it is so powerful. So here is the one secret that you can use to avoid free consulting for non-paying clients. I'll give you a couple of examples, but let's just dive in. So first and foremost, we need to give an example of what is free consulting. Free consulting is very simply the definition: unnecessary work that a prospect asks you to do before they buy. That is a big definition, and I'm sure that you can relate to that very, very simply as you're watching this. So let's go on. Here's a couple of examples of free consulting because we need to know what is free consulting. Well, doing some groundwork and presenting findings at the next meeting is typically the way a prospect will throw it at you. Say, "Hey, could you just go do that report and bring it back to me? We'll discuss it and then we'll go from there." And that is, oh man, I see it so many times and it breaks my heart. But this video will solve that. Of course, here's some other examples. "Hey, could you run some preliminary figures on what that's going to look like for us, and then send them over to us so we can see that, and then we'll talk again." Or "Hey, would you mind going and doing this site survey like I did with roofs? Would you go look at this roof and take the pictures and put together this 30 to 50 page report that's going to take you 10 hours?" And they never say that. "And then bring it back to me and I'll look it over and then we'll make a decision from there." Or, "Hey, could you create a diagram of what our entire plan is going to look like for our content strategy or our coaching sessions or whatever that's going to be, and then bring it back to me and then we'll make a decision?" What are these prospects doing? They're stealing information from you. It's not okay. And you as a sales professional have rights. You don't have to do this work. "Hey, could you perform an audit on our website or look at our SEO or check our systems out or whatever, and then bring it back to me so I can like read through it and understand like what you're actually going to do for us," right? Not okay. How about calculating cost projections? "Could you figure out exactly what this is going to cost and give me a complete blueprint so then I can take it and not tell you and go shop it out to 17 other people so that I can get the best price for the same shit that you're telling me to do," right? So those things are not okay. How about this one? "Hey, could you go interview some potential end users for me, some of my clients, and then bring back all that data so I don't have to go do that work before I give you a dime?" Yeah, I'm not into that, man. Sales pros have rights. Don't forget that. Always remember that. Here is the secret. Now that we know what it is, the secret phrase is so simple. Let's pretend. Let's pretend. That's it. Let's pretend. And you're probably like, "Sean, What are you even talking about? Let's get into an example, because this is so powerful. I promise you, you will cut down all the baggage time of non-paid consulting work that you're doing by using this one phrase. Here's what I mean. Here's how you use it. Prospect says something like, Sean, I have to tell you, I'm impressed with what I've heard so far. I'd like to see a plan for content development with the approximate costs and the estimated time to completion. In this environment, maybe I was selling like a content strategy, or I'm an agency selling content services or something like that. Most people, most sales pros, most agency owners, most business owners would say, yeah, sure, I'll go put that together and then we can talk about it next time. Let's get your calendar out and set another date. Most people do that. And that's okay, but it's not okay, right? You're wasting a lot of your valuable time, because time is the only limited resource that we have on the planet. So instead of saying, yes, I'll do this for you, you use the phrase, let's pretend. This is what it looks like, sounds like, and feels like. You say, I'd be happy to start working on that. Let's pretend for a moment that when I come back with our preliminary plan that you've asked for, right? And you're completely comfy with my approach. You love the cost. It's in line with your budget, maybe a little high, low by 10 or percent or so, something like that, but pretty close. The projections are exactly what you're trying to accomplish, and we know we're going to hit the deadlines. So I bring that back and I drop it up, and it's a magic. Let's pretend that I did that for you, Mr. Prospect. What would happen at that point? And then you wait, because what I've just done is I've shrunk all that consulting time that I would have had to go do all of this stuff into about 10 seconds worth of a conversation that I'm having with the prospect before I go do any of this work. And then the prospect says, well, shoot, like if it hit all the metrics, and like we would move forward. Okay, so I have your word that like as long as this is in line, we're going to move forward. Is that correct? What have I just done? I've got him to be closed before I go do any of the work. Now, a lot of time that will happen. They'll say, yes, that would be perfect. And then, and then if you've done a good job in the sales conversation and we've kind of edged out all of the, variables, and we can put them into that proposal, and we can come back and he's already verbally given you the word that he'll say yes, as long as it's in line. You already have pre-closed them. So the second meeting is going to be so much easier, because we go back and said, hey, you said, the next meeting when we're presenting that, we said, you said that if all this matched exactly what you're looking for, you would move forward today, correct? Yes. Okay. So that's even before I presented in the next meeting. And the next thing you know, I go through it and they're like, Sean, I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, cool. Well, sounds like you love everything. Is it time to move forward? Whoa, objection. Well, hold on a second. You told me that if I did all this work, you were going to move forward with me. Did you not? Yes, I did. Okay, cool. Well, seems like it matches. What's missing? And now they can try to nitpick it, but majority of the time they're going to lay down flat and let you take the deal and you win. And that's how you close that deal. It's very valuable, right? Next thing I want to talk about is, let's say, for example, it's a tremendous amount of work. Say you had to do a site survey, you had to interview end users, and you like, it's way. Think like I used to do with these roofing reports. And so what I actually started doing is I started charging for these. Now, this is what we call the monkey's paw or the monkey's fist in professional selling. It's another little technique that I use in combination with let's pretend. So same thing. Hey, Sean, would you go do the survey? I would say, sure, I'd be happy to go start working on that, but let's pretend I did that and I brought it back and it was exactly what you were looking for. Here's the problem. I'm going to have to spend like 8 hours doing all of this stuff, and I don't know if you're going to move forward or not with me. So let's do this. Why don't you make the investment of my time of 8 hours to do this for $2,500? And then if this is the right fit for you, of course, I'll give you the report. It'll be very nice for you. And then if it's the right fit and you want to move forward to the bigger phase 2 part of the project, well, I'll just credit that $2,500 towards your already investment. Does that sound like something you can do? And that is a move where you can actually charge for all the non-paid consulting that you're doing, right? And that is another little spin kick secret that you can add on to the top of the let's pretend framework. You can drop it without doing the work, and you can even charge for it if you want to. If you have the cojones to ask for that in a conversation, like, I promise you'll get it. And with that said, you've just been tuned up today. I hope this one was valuable. Make sure and drop. This is always a conversation, because I want to know if you like this, love this, hate this, or whatever have you. So again, if you found this valuable, please smash that like button, love button, share this to someone that needs it, and subscribe to the channel. But drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And Sonny, I hope this one helped you answer this question. I don't ever want you to have to do the preliminary reports for non-clients and not get paid for it anymore. With that said, you've just been tuned up. I love your face. I can't wait to see you next time. And man, it's Thursday. Don't forget, statistically, best day to prospect, best day to close deals. Get your ass on the phone and go get some deals, get some stuff moving, get momentum in your business if you're not there yet. And if you're already there, like, just pour on the gas, man, because that's what it's about, making impact and serving others. And money is the byproduct. With that said, I'll talk to you next time.